anything to keep Canadians from noticing. Parliament's budget watchdog has found that the Prime Minister is using fiscal tricks just to hide how much money is being wasted here in Ottawa. He says there's a less than 10% chance that the Liberals will meet their own spending targets, the same targets they've blown through again and again. The warnings keep piling up. The waste keeps growing, and the government's commitment to responsibility keeps shrinking. So the real question is, what are the odds that the watchdog gets fired next, just for telling Canadians the truth?
Yeah!
L'honorable ministre des Finances.
Mr. Speaker, it's only Monday, and we already have good news, Mr. Speaker. Inflation is down. Employment is up, Mr. Speaker. And we presented to Canadians a generational investment budget, Mr. Speaker. We're going to invest to build this country. We're going to invest to protect our sovereignty. We're going to empower Canadians. Mr. Speaker, we're going to grow this economy the second fastest rate in the G7, Mr. Speaker, because we believe in Canada, and Canadians are going to see whether the Conservative believe in Canada, because today we'll have a vote, and let's hope that we're going to walk together. Mr. Speaker, Canada needs to grow.
The honourable member for Thornhill.
Can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford their mortgages, and they want us to support the reason why. I think most Canadians would say no thanks. But back to the parliamentary budget officer. Remember, this is the same watchdog who called Liberal spending stupefying, shocking, and unsustainable. Now he says the government has abandoned any restraint at all. So no wonder the Prime Minister wants him gone. How many more watchdogs, how many more damning reports will it take for this government to stop maxing out the credit card with their reckless spending?
Yeah!
L'honorable ministre des Finances.
Mr. Speaker, I know it's a big budget. I'm afraid they may have missed a chapter, Mr. Speaker. Let me help them. Someone called Kevin Page, Mr. Speaker, we serve our nation, and I quote, "We need to focus on economic growth. We need capital investment to boost innovation, improve our infrastructure, and diversify our trade. We live in dangerous times, and we must meet our NATO spending target." I believe Parliament should approve the budget plan, Mr. Speaker. That's the word of a former parliamentary budget officer, Mr. Speaker. We believe in Canada, and let's hope and let's see if the Conservative will support Canadians.
The honourable member for Newmarket Aurora.
The parliamentary budget officer rang the alarm on Friday. He tells Canadians there's just a 7.5% chance that this Prime Minister meets his own fiscal promise. The Liberals have twisted definitions so badly, he now recommends an independent expert body to police the numbers, as he uncovered a $94 billion reallocation in the budget. And what is the Liberals' response? Not a correction, but an effort to silence the watchdog. Replace the referee rather than play by the rules. Will the Prime Minister tell Canadians why anyone should trust his fiscal rules when he has no intention of keeping them?
The Honourable Minister of Jobs and Families.
Mr. Speaker, I'm a member of Parliament for a region that has many small communities. And I can tell you those small communities all across Northern Ontario are looking forward to the investments this budget makes in small and rural community infrastructure, in projects like the Crawford Mine just outside of Timmins that's going to create thousands of jobs, Mr. Speaker. These Canadians, these Northern Ontario Canadians know they have so much to offer, and they are imploring members opposite to vote for them in this evening.
Member for Newmarket Aurora.
Of course, the Liberal government shrugs off their own experts when truth is not convenient to them. One day after the budget drop, Fitch credit ratings rang another alarm, warning that the Liberals' reckless spending is eroding Canada's finances and putting pressure on our credit rating. Budget 2025 blows the deficit up to $80 billion and pushes our general deficit far above the AA credit rating median. They also remind us that the Liberals have a strong track record of breaking every fiscal anchor that they set. How many more fiscal watchdogs need to blow the whistle before this Prime Minister reins in his reckless spending?
The Honourable Minister of Jobs and Families.
Mr. Speaker, historically, this budget aims to invest not only in infrastructure that typically is covered solely by provinces, but also in health infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, in small communities like Kenora, Mr. Speaker, where communities are waiting for those investments so that they can too have the kind of promise that Canadians in larger municipalities have, Mr. Speaker. And so let me just be clear. In Nipigon, Ontario, Mr. Speaker, where I visited a school food program, we are so excited that program will become permanent. On this side, we know that children need food to thrive. We hope they don't vote against hungry kids.
L'honorable député de Richmond-Arthabasca.
The Honourable Member for Richmond-Athabasca. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What is the Parliamentary Budget Officer's role? He has a clear role in the federal government's transparency. He provides to MPs an independent analysis that is non-partisan on the state of public finances. What did he have to say about the Liberal budget? Investment being misinterpreted? The government will not be able to respect its fiscal targets to reduce the debt to GDP ratio. Are they going to agree with this conclusion, or are they looking to fire the minister, the PBO?
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have an ambitious alternative, and that's Budget 2025 with the best fiscal situation in the G7, the lowest debt to GDP ratio in the G7 countries. We'll also invest in infrastructure to modernize our infrastructures here in Canada, projects to build our country, with various major projects, including Davis in Quebec, with the broadening of the Saguenay shipyard. That is Budget 2025 to build Quebec and Canada's economies. The Honourable Member for Charlebourg-Haute-Saint-Charles. Mr. Speaker, the Liberals are always quick to quote experts, but only when it suits them. But here we have the Fitch rating agency, which gives the government its credit scores. It says that the federal finances are a real disaster, but the Liberals have turned a deaf ear. Even the Parliamentary Budget Officer last week sounded the alarm, saying that government spending is unsustainable and shocking. How many more reports from our experts are needed for the Prime Minister to realise that he needs to end his irresponsible spending? The Honourable Minister. Let us be clear. Canada's fiscal situation is enviable. AAA rating, lowest G7 debt to GDP ratio, and they're getting ready to vote against. They are voting against a 20% increase in salary for Valcartier troops. They're going to vote against our troops and the armed forces. How can they vote against this? The Honourable Member for Charlebourg-Haute-Saint-Charles. Mr. Speaker, we'll always agree with what works. What doesn't work is this government, and it's been dysfunctional for the last 10 years. The Parliamentary Budget Officer did a transparent analysis and said that there is less than a 10% chance that the government will remain within its deficit targets. So we know it won't work, Mr. Speaker. On top of this, the government just posted a job advertisement for the position of PBO. Why? Is it because the current one isn't going in their direction? The Honourable Minister for National Defence. Mr. Speaker, Budget 2025 has generational investments that seek to rebuild, rearm and reinvest in the Canadian Armed Forces. There was a historic $2 billion envelope for salaries, which will help over 90,000 members of the armed forces and their family. Of all branches, there have been salary increases costed at 20% last year. I call upon everyone to support our forces for a strong Canada.